Hello and welcome to another dramatic reading by me, Design84. Today we're finally going to get back to Super Sentai vs Super Sentai another in time for Halloween with this special chapter, To Hell and Back. Okay, it's not special in any other way than it's got a guest, but yeah, it's thematically appropriate. Author's note, and say I was hoping I updated this quick enough. Well, I know I certainly didn't. I just don't feel right leaving you guys in a cliffhanger like this. Hopefully it wasn't as offensive. Well, I don't see why long waits are offensive. They're pretty common actually. Anyway, enjoy. Chapter 26. To Hell and Back. First thing Takaru did when his eyes were slowly opening was notice his eyes slowly opening was not the sight of what he's in, but what his nose perceived. The stench of blood. Obviously it wasn't a pleasant one. This stinks. Blood? He was quick to get back to his feet, but what he saw was far from pleasant. Not only is he on a black, disgusting platform. The platform was surrounded by a vast pool of blood that boiled, and flames were erupting from afar. Oh god, he's ended up in the middle of Arizona. It was a good thing that his friends were all on the same platform, except they were still unconscious. They seemed to confirm about what he believes so far. He's not joking. We're literally stuck in hell. He had to call back to last week. His line of thought were cut short when he heard a roar. When he looked behind, he saw a very grotesque beast, nearing like a demon. Nearing, and in its mouth is the face of a dead man that it seems just devoured. I'll let you figure out what's on there. This is no time to fear, Taku thought. He glanced at this. Even if this is hell, I'll find a way to get out. I still have a mission to do up there. It was when he clenched his fist. He realized something. His bracer was still intact. Bracer. He should be able to transform. Good, at least it's still there. Come here, you demon! Taku then beckoned the demon as it ran forward to him, walking on the blood pool. Oh, a mask! As the demon opened its jaw and tried to devour Taku, he quickly transformed into Red Mask and swiftly put his musky blade right onto its mouth, holding its jaw. The metal musky blade proved to be quite hard for the demon to immediately crush, but then the head of the man that it just devoured looked at Red Mask as if pleading for something. I'm sorry, Red Mask says. He clenched his fist and drove through the demon's mouth, killing it as blood gushed from its backside. Even Red Mask knew it in hell. There won't be just one demon, there'd be more. If his friend to be targeted, does he look behind? Another demon leapt to him. Damn! Emergency! Deca Ranger! Suddenly a voice was heard and the unconscious Hoji already transformed into Deca Blue. Well then he's not unconscious. Using his hands as spring, he vaulted himself upwards. That sounds impossible. Kicking the demon on the stomach as it was launched and fell to the ground. Gotten a little sloppy, Taku. Wow, you have time to comment in such fashion, Hoji. Red Mask commented as well. He's glad his friend has. One of those words is wrong. You realize that we are in hell, literally. Maybe, but I don't care. Deca Blue answered. He raised his hands. I'll just not let those demons have an easy time with me. As Red Mask noted, more demons were arriving from another side. Dino Buckler, Super Henge, Doran Changer. How cute! They're transforming in the order they were introduced. Before they could even blink, several arrows were shot at the demon's head. There were explosions, causing him to fall back before he could do a thing. Shooters here, both Terror Ranger and Ninja Black, were next to get up. This is disgusting, Terror Ranger noted. We can't let it consume us. There should be a way to get out, Ninja Black also said. But it looked like these demons aren't going to make it easy. Unlike the others, however, there was a brief moment of peace when Chisato and Momoko woke up. Chisato groaned as she opened her eyes. Then she watched, still shocked her. Yikes, where in the heck are we? Really? You choose now for a profanity, but the profanity is censorship. You've literally mentioned the name of the place already. Hell, probably. Red Mask answered normally. Probably that Zoltzer wasn't bluffing. Demons I thought fit with descriptions about creatures from hell. Taku, I just have to wonder, Momoko, she got to express her way at Red Mask's attitude. How in the name of all that's decent that you could say that in such a relaxed tone? I think with that should be a can. It should be, how in the name of all that's decent can you say that? We could have been dead. Then touch your chest, Ninja Black stated. If you could feel it when you're alive. Ow! Fortunately, the moment he said that, it was too late to realize that he slipped up something indecent as he received a slap from Sato. That's some nerve you set that woman, Jiraiya, Sato scolded by holding a part of her body, in this case, the stomach. So wait, did Jiraiya try it with Chisato and touch the wrong area? What happened? Thanks to that, has gone down. But regardless, yeah, you're right. I can still feel my body. Right, my tongue slipped a little. Oh, Ninja Blood. That commentary rubbed his head. Should have said body. How are you even alive when they're in hell? I thought it's for the dead. Moko would question further. At that point, saw a horde of hell spawns. There should be no pluralization there. Walking towards them. Never mind, I wouldn't want to die, especially in hell. She made her masking brace. He turned towards Sato. You ready for this? Of course, she replied by holding her digitizer. Install Mega Ranger or a mask, pink mask. The remaining warriors transform. Red mask men step forward, readying to lead the team against the Hellspawn. Look, we may be in hell, but I'm sure we are not here by natural ways. If we can get out of this, we find a way. Turbo and going out to fight for our lives. Let's go. Okay. All of his allies nodded with burning spirit. They all ran towards the Hellspawns, roaring their spirits loud. Yeah! Growl! The Hellspawns also let out their demonic roars and charges. However, or they could even clash together, all of the sudden, the powerful black key force were shot from their back, obliterating them at once. What? Red Mask was dumbfounded at that sight, his chance to fight denied. Ooh, it looks like I've got some uncanny visitors. Suddenly a familiar voice was heard. Standing in front of the team were another familiar figure, not from his original world. It's an interesting time to have a break. Who are you? Pink Mask about to confront the figure as she has never seen before. Wait up, Momoko. Deck Blue stopped her and he tried looking at the figure clad in black and possessing black manes. Last time it was Long disguising as you, but could it be Long disguising as me? And how is he even... Oh, right. Must be that. Figure stepped forward menacingly, but he didn't seem very confrontational. In that case, he must have known their identity. As purely fierce a lion, as powerful as a lion. My name is Black Lion Rio. Oh god, this guy. Mikoto was slowly recovering his sight. The last thing he knew, he was defeated by Long. That mere thought was a blow to his ego. Damn it, how did I? The moment he attempted to move, his mind quickly went somewhere else. Alright, probably I'm in prison somewhere, and that probably is in the wrong place. Let's see, maybe they tied me up. He tried to move his arms and found out, but they were raised slightly upwards while spread and locked with prison braces attached to chains on the walls. What, is he not going to be chained to a ball, or was that too cliche? Check. And looked down and realised he was on his knees. Kneeling down. Check. Okay, what else? He took a little breath and opened his eyes. And a clear sight on where he was. It looked like it was a sealed room, so I can see and speak. Blindfold and gag. Not checked. He didn't have more time to check things around as the door in front of him opened, and a figure entered. No other than Long himself. Awakened already, mortal? Alright, you got me. Mikoto grumbled as he lowered his head. So why don't you just get on with it? You know I'm way too much of a piece of an opponent. What? Kill me if you want to win your game. What he received was merely a not very deadly push to the face. Sorry, that cannot sound intimidating. While Long squeezed his cheek and pulled his head forward. Still not intimidating. Forcing him to look at him in the face. Okay, that sounds creepy. And squeezing hard enough, there was no way he could spit onto his face. Did your puny parents ever taught you that you should look at the person you're talking with when you're in a conversation? I got bored of that kind of lesson. My, you are a very naughty child. Long smirked, clearly getting amused until his voice started to sound really sinister. But lately you're walking away from that naughty style. I wonder why. None of your business, Mikoto stated fine. I brought you through a Sheol and hoping that you were back when you were in your prime. I released his grab on my face and walked away. Long recalled the moment Mikoto entered the world. Through his manipulation of him into Sheol himself, he had hoped that the Mikoto that entered through there would be the old remorseless bastard who would endanger the lives of many for fun. Do we really need the recap? I mean, it's been a while since I covered that chapter, so people I'm reading it to probably do, but if you're binge reading this, somehow that never came. But look at this, you're just like how it was in the end of your past life. A goody two-shoes like those Super Sentai. That's just disappointing and boring. I simply found another source of excitement. I never changed. All along never could grasp exactly what Mikoto said. At the end of his struggles with the other Rangers, he simply found new excitement, but will to live on and face dangers wherever they came from. I just found out that my old life was rather hollow. And that's why it's making you weak! As long said, Bad's moon suddenly shifted into a much more dangerous one. It began with kicking Mikoto on the rib before kicking him in the face. Look at you, getting captured by me in the first place. Isn't that a sign of weakness? Don't you think so? Somehow beating a tied-up person is exciting to you? Mikoto shot back at him. That's just weird. Yet, I see you act really tough and not trying to break. And not trying, I'll let you figure out Long Hair. Long smirked, he stopped his thought. He just knew what to bring. But perhaps this might change your mind. He then snapped his finger. The door opened and a figure entered. Leisure. When Mikoto saw who entered, his eyes widened. He clearly still remembered her. Woman he actually felt a lot of feelings for. One who could melt his heart a little. To see her holding Long's hand, it's just unsight for him. Can you believe what he said, my dear Lee Jewel? Long then spoke in trying to incite him. The inn was unnecessary. He said that the time he spent with you was rather hollow. What? What did you say? Jealousy started to flare within Lee Jewel. As long as given parts of her memory back, she still remembered the tender times she spent with Mikoto. Whereas she seemed to believe that Long was telling the truth. Okay, when did this whole memory thing happen? You can't just tell us if it happened after the fact. And by that time, Mikoto was even silent. He didn't think such event would slip from his mind. Damn it, I meant to say my old life of causing mayhem for my own sake was hollow. That time of Legior, that is like a diamond in the rough. I knew it! You really have abandoned me! Legior screamed as he raised her staff. And there, lightning blasts were generated, aimed at the chained Mikoto as the man's body continued to take damage. I hate you! I hate you! Mikoto was coughing, his face slightly bleeding thanks to his inner body damage, forcing him to cough a little blood. Legior, you want to have last words? Legior threatened at him. Innocence seemed to be lost from her voice at this point. Instead, her words sound like an angry, scorned, venomous woman. You can hate me if you want. Mikoto tried his best to speak what crossed his mind. It's true, my past life was very hollow. I was a shallow, selfish man back then. But I remember you were there for me. Somehow gave a meaning to my life. Now it was Legior's turn to have her eyes widen. Somehow she was quite touched with what Mikoto said. Something about it felt rather honest, and like before, it touched her quite well. She started to remember sweet times he spent in her child's body with him. Miko, Sama? Go to your room! Long's voice suddenly interrupted her. Wherever Legior was instead shaking, seemed to be a little hope for Mikoto to recover her mind completely. Whether Long's command was too strong. Go to your room! Honestly, this sounds less like an evil overlord commanding his minion in a more errant, disciplining their disobedient child. Which I guess the point. Alright, obeying. Legior then walked away, leaving Mikoto only able to glare at Long and clenching his fist. So then, once again, Long referred to the smug smile he used to make all the time while facing Mikoto. You're making quite progress. I'm impressed. I did implant some fake memories, but I left some of her old ones intact. Just what the hell do you want from me? Mikoto could feel that anger was seeping through his voice at this point, but he just couldn't seem to forgive the one he's speaking to. Oh, easy enough. It'll be a good deal too, Long offered. Go back to your old, hollow life to recover her. That means you'll be back to acknowledging that life is meaningless and it's better to endanger mankind as long as you're satisfied and having fun. I'm sure she'll have a meaning in your life when you're in that phase. Mikoto knew it was meant to be a trap. He didn't think that deeply about how he could be endangering mankind more. If he accepted, while he could regain Legior's memories and fix her up, it would make him a pawn of Long for his lifetime. Is that what he truly wanted? But it was at this time he remembered, just before he considered something. He considered getting rid of his feelings towards Legior just to gain upper hand. Perhaps would be the best time for that. As long as he's ahead of Long, he can change his mind any time. She no longer means anything to me, Mikoto bitterly answered, but it was low enough and he made sure that Lijo wouldn't hear of that. I will never be your pawn. Brave words, Long said, clapping his hand. Reminds me a lot of those champions of goodness that thought they could escape their role being a pawn of gods like me. You know how they end up. And after this, he grabbed Mikoto's hair instead and made him look at him again. They're dead. They may be rubbing off me. Mikoto had to admit one thing. Hanging around the other Ranger and the Super Sentai more seemed to have an effect on him. But he had to make sure on one thing. Do you think I'm such a goody two-shoes right now? That's going to cost you big. Oh yeah? Would you like to test it then? Let's play a game then. Long then released his grab off Mikoto's hair. I'm gonna have to... and walked away to the door. It's just a game to test how much of a goody two-shoes you are right now. How much they, I know who they are, mind you, rubbed you off. Bring it on, Mikoto begged him. I was expecting that answer. It looks like my side is ready too. Long smiled as he opened the door, and to Mikoto's shock he saw both Kiros and Gashodokuro entering the room while carrying Melee. She was not only just tied up with her hands behind her and bound to her body and legs bound, she was also silenced to a gag. That first part was way too confusing. Melee, Pushed to the ground, Melee quickly glanced at Mikoto and saw the situation they were both in right now. And here I thought to escape. The thought was quickly signed as Long stomped her head and pushed her to the ground. This woman is going to be the measurement of his game. Long beckoned as he also seemed to enjoy further pushing his foot onto Melee's head. With her tied up body, there was no way she could have her body retaliate. Or at least be a bit more proper in restraining on her. Mikoto once he looked at the gag on Melee's mouth while he's got none. Meanwhile, Long then looked at Kiro, seemed to have something in his head. What was that in your face, Kiros? But it's not in his head, it's on his face. Don't tell me you got the usual. Oh, you'll want to talk after knowing her, Kiros blurted out, then rubbing his seemingly bleeding cheek. You didn't tell me how much he's using that tongue of hers to attempt on linking or stabbing me. Not that I do, but it should have been the other way around when it comes to capture and captive. It's a good thing I've gotten so used to tell the yokai minion to occasionally gag captured humans. Gashtoko sighed, shaking his skeletal head. I had to use some rare demonic cloth to prevent her tongue to wreak havoc. Oh yes, I would have cut down her tongue in that case. Long said as he continued to push onto Melee's head, causing her to give out a muffled grunt. But on second thought, muffled voices like this proved to be funnier, especially when I can add a bonus. With that, he raised his fist. Using a part of his gravity force from a basilisk fist he received from absorbing Sanyo, Long then launched an invisible force by pushing it downwards towards Melee's body. Melee proceeded to receive a substantial amount of pain as her body was pushed downward to the ground. Like the force and the ground was about to crush her body. What? Mikoto was in quite a shock of seeing such brutality, but he remembered saying, Go away, you useless emotions, go away, I have to show indifference. You know I've done this to some people. Long nonchalantly noticed he ignored Melee's continuous muffled screams of pain, and her body continuously wiggling in pain as even Kiros and Gasodoko was taken aback not of how much Melee was in pain, how much indifferent Long could be about this. Like one of the enemies of the hurricanes as before. That could mean about what Nanami said before. We go to call about how Hurricane Blue told the rest that Long has claimed the life of her former enemy. This continues, and first her bones will crack, and then continue on, and as Long continued to speak, Melee stopped wriggling her body. And she couldn't find the strength to do so again, but Long instead pushed his foot further on her and continued. All of her bones will be destroyed. Still, I'd like to trust your words and feelings before. You don't want to care about her, right? Mikoto once now had his eyes widened. He had to want his ally to die, just to further his gain. Back then it seemed fair that he either had no allies or he's the one dying. But now, seeing an ally of his in constant pain, he admittedly was getting rather confused. Damn! That's you being you, Nakadai Mikoto, Long continued. They really rubbed on you. If you're a really good guy, a reformed man, you wouldn't let your allies die, let alone suffer like this, would you? And finally, the most important question given. So, what will it be, Mikoto? Are you a bad enough man to let this damsel in distress die? Amidst the pain, a word pretty much stung Melee pretty hard. Especially Ego. How dare you, Lon, think that I, the old sound of the lava warrior, was to be reduced to a lowly damsel in distress. She was terribly pissed. Her strength has been drained, and she had another crack in her backside thanks to the gravitational force pressed upon her. At that moment, she looked at Mikoto. That was when she was shocked. Mikoto was showing a lot of pressure on his face. It was like his facade was about to break. Oh, now you're having time to doubt. Don't you dare. Melanie tried to scream out something. Even amid the pain, aside from her attempted scream, she held a strong face, hoping that at least Mikoto could read something from her body language. Just leave me to die of honor, Mikoto. But one thing, don't you dare submit to this bastard's desires. Mikoto was weighing out his options. What would he do? Would he leave Melee to die and have himself execute his own game about recovering Lijo to get back to her senses? Then, even if he wanted the memories to go away, instead chose the wrong time to flow. Won't I fought side to side in this bizarre world as fellow dead warriors? Damn! Mikoto continued to burst for thoughts. Just for your information, Mikoto, this isn't a game about winners and losers. Whatever you call victory suits me just fine, Long clarified to him. Let us say once the answer is given, the game is cleared, and you decide whether it's victory or defeat. As Mikoto looked further at Melee's pain but attempted to meet a defiant face, he hung his head low and finally gave the answer. Let her go! Melee's eyes widened, but he could shock the answer. I told you not to. Are you really that illiterate in body language? Oh really? Long tried to make sure. That means back to the so-called hollow life then? Yes, Mikoto answered slowly. That's how it is to recover Lijo and how return to that hollow lifestyle. Very well, the answer is given and the game is cleared. Bravo! As he said that, Long then released the force from pressuring Melee and instead clapped his hand. I'll spare this girl's life. In fact, I'm actually glad you chose to spare her, Mikoto. You actually let her live at a cost, but she'll have this mark in life, but she was a damsel in distress. A far cry of what you asked before. Oh wait, actually I've done that before, so this must be the second time. Long smiled, remembering the past when, after he revealed how much he manipulated Rio, he took Melee as his own hostage for something. Really, the author doesn't know that he was trying to kill Melee to force Rio to go full evil? If anything, ruining her ego seemed like another wonderful alternative. Oh boy, my heart goes to poor Rio. He must be rolling in the grave when he saw his finest companion reduced to this. You bastard! Melee felt like crying from the inside, but she didn't want to let her tears flow. She instead looked really angry, glaring at Mikoto, who now seemed like having no emotions running in his eyes. I meant you, Mikoto. How dare you? How dare you not listen to me? To have thought of Long being a complete bastard without her heart, but she felt that redundant at that moment. Rest assured, this is going to take time. First, Long approached Mikoto and patted his head. First, we're going to remove any semblance of goodness within you. I know a way to force it out. It'll be fun, just that it takes time. So be patient and enjoy your last moments in goody two-shoes. Always remember, it was fun while it lasted. Suddenly Gasadokuro spoke, breaking Long's constant dialogue with Mikoto. Yes, this gone on for long enough. It's taken up like 10 minutes of this reading already. So yeah, I've seen you break him. Can we go now? I got a monitor how it is on the vast underworld. I haven't found any signs of the Super Sentai are being devoured by the demon. Maybe my old yokai brethren for vengeance. Oh yes, Zelza really did his job well done, didn't he? Wait, no wait, that sounds remarkably so now, say. Zelza really did his job well done, didn't he? He Long noted he looked back while Melee was shocked on that revelation. That the Super Sentai was in the underworld or sorts. Right, you do that then, but as of you, Kiros was taken aback when Long referred to him. Perhaps he would just once again abuse him after he'd done his job. But instead, what he saw was different. Long instead kicked Melee on the stomach, causing her to roll over right onto Kiros' feet. You take her back to her prison, when you can do whatever. Real fun begins once I'm done with Mikoto here. Oh, that's more acceptable. Alright. Kiros smiled as he knelt down, grabbing Melee's arm as he was too weak to give a powerful struggle. Come here, you. You noticed he was being lifted up. Melee continued to show her defiance, driven with her torrent of emotions as she kicked around and struggled, like cursing at how Long set this up. Now Mikoto fell for his plot. As he pulled along, Kiros actually smiled at this. I like how you struggle and squirm, even as it's futile. It's a spunk I like in ladies. As Melly was taken to her own sealed room, Kira was completed in tying her body firm into a post at the centre, completely immobilising her in a rather clean room. There was no broken glasses or anything she could use to break free. No, it was just like my old days, Kira suddenly chatted. I still don't like that snotty dragon bastard, but I can appreciate this one. Melly was silent, she hoping that Kira would commit some sort of mistake, so she would have time for at least something to fix her bruised ego at this moment. Like perhaps he'd step in front of her meant to get kicked him in the groin. Fortunately for her, Kira did not even step in front of her. In fact, he knelt down from her behind, slinked his face next to hers, and then with one hand, held on the chin while his other hand started sliding away, touching onto her bare skin from her rather revealing clothes. Oh God, we're not doing this, are we? Especially her shoulders. While being completely disgusted how Kira was doing things on her, she began telling things from his past. Back in those days, I saved a girl who became enamored at me. That girl was just like you. A strong, spunky girl. I played around with her, trying to be her knight in shining armor. At many constant times, she was a damsel in distress. I had a lot of fun with how I caressed her bare skins. I mean, she was using a very daring clothes, just like you. And it's with consent from both of us, too. And you think you have my consent in this? You creep. But eventually I got bored. So the next time I stayed from her distress, back when we do things like this, suddenly afterwards Kira pulled away her hand that were touching Melly's shoulders. In a swift movement, pulled his side and put the blade right in front of Melly's neck. I slit her neck, and off I went, trying on a new type of girl. But that time, it was one of the best. Okay, I missed my stuff. You, my sweet sexy captive, are quite similar, except this time, because I heard news about that snotty dragon bastard. Kira's then stepped in front of Melly, about to be a chance, but to a shock Kira instead stepped on her ankles from the above, with one foot and crouched, preventing her to raise her leg, so she got close to her head. I'll let you figure out what's wrong with that passage, both grammatically and morally. You want a strong and proud warrior. That girl kind of died like that. But now I'd like to see what happened to a strong warrior like you. Continue to break down. Continue. Having your ego destroyed little by little until you're begging to end your life already. I'd like to know how it feels. I mean, I've never done that in my life. Oh God, I've lost my place. Just give me a minute. I need to find it. You creep, better stay away from me. What? Melly was thinking back, just shocked about the fact she didn't even think of that. That was exactly what a damsel in distress would say. And next to be, my friend would come and rescue me. No way in hell I'm going to think that kind of weak line of thought. Well, I guess that's about it for today. You're going to stay here for very long after all. So you're not going to stay after long, sexy. Kira's light-heartedly says as he walked away. Who knows what runs on my mind tomorrow? Maybe we'll proceed to a forceful kiss. Yes. Anyway, ciao. At that point, Melly couldn't hold it anymore. In spite of knowing the situation, she ended up cursing and shouting even though her mouth was gagged as Kyrus locked the door, leaving her alone. You only say that freely because you had me bound and gagged like this. Come and say it again when I'm free, you bastard. I'll rip your head off where you stand. And after that, Long's next. And at that point, Melly realised what kind of situation he was in. Super Sentai, her eyes were all dragged into what was said to be hell. As the realm was vast, she didn't know if they would make contact with Rio. Mikoto was in process of being destroyed and replaced with another Mikoto she has no idea about. In other words, he's as good as dead to her. All the Rinjuken practitioners have turned coats and sided with Long. As she ended up being some sort of trophy for the enemy, a damsel in search of no prince to save her. A warrior like her reduced to this. She didn't care about her supposed failed mission. She couldn't hold off her tears and coming out from her eyes. On the other hand, she also ended up crying. This infuriated her further, and yet the only thing she could do at the moment was merely just shrugging and knocking off the ground with her feet and screaming up as loud as she could near her gag. Damn it! Damn it all! Oh, okay. Meanwhile, back in hell. Oh, finally, we're back to this. The Super Sentai came face with Melee's master and lover Rio. I knew it would be you, telling to still remember the first time they encountered Melee, when Long was masquerading as this very person in order to manipulate her. one Melly declared her love for.
Melly, so she's on your care?
Rio started to get closer and closer to the team. Guys, I'm not sure if we should be standing still here. Pink Mouse was worried. This guy has an aura of dark around him, but somehow he wants us murderous, Megalo said. Tell that to the people he drowned when Makirika destroyed that dam. Don't worry, it's pretty much the same as Melee. I find it hard to believe that you could bond with other people beside me, because you're a sociopath. Rio commented he finally got close enough to the one he perceived as the leader. To hit you and your friends. I know it's possible. Based off what? Wait, how do you know at where? Red Mask concluded how informed Mio was about this despite spending his time here.
Let's just say I have my own source of information.
Rio answered quickly before going on to the next question.
So what are you doing here at the realm of the dead? Visiting to your place?
Words rang true to the group. It's like how Melee told them, both Rio and Melee were doomed to fight the legions of hell for eternity to have a chance to fight against alongside both the Geki Rangers and the Go-Oners. Rio did not get transported to the alternate world, meaning that he was meant to be in this place. A minion of Long used their power to transport us here, Red Mask answered. I was wondering if it has a clue for us to come back.
I did meet a rather weird creature. It didn't seem to be like the demons I fought.
Rio commented, recalling one of his many fights against the demons.
He has some sort of weird devices, like how you humans call it, megaphone, I suppose.
How does he not know what a megaphone is? And isn't he human? That's him. That's the guy who brought us here. Zalta. Decker Blue concluded. Where is he?
Dead, unfortunately.
Rio shrugged.
The demons dogpiled on him and devoured him alive.
Just merely trying to imagine such fate made Terry to shudder. That would have been a horrible way to die. Yeah, it also denies the chance for him to actually kill him. I never thought it'd be possible to die again in hell.
If that's the case, then you're doomed. But for you guys, I don't think so.
Rio stated something that would calm the rest.
You don't belong here, so there should be a way out for you. The ruler of hell doesn't like people who barge in here without earlier appointment.
I take it it's like dying naturally and condemned to hell. Pink Mask tried to confirm, it only got her nod in my head. Well, thank goodness, we still have a chance to return. Yes, and we should, Red Mask confirmed. We still have work to do up there. We can't afford to just let it be before our time comes. Now I think of it, if Melee was here, she would have been ecstatic to reunite with her real Sama. Megale wondered before she realised one thing. Namely that Melee wouldn't want to leave if he brought her here. Hey, you seem that nonchalant about someone who has shown such great dedication to you and she's not even here.
You shouldn't doubt our bond together, woman.
Well, this is the first time you've mentioned her. Rio then looked at Megale first to make her back away a little.
Are you taking care of her well?
Of course we did, Ninja Black answered honestly. She has her rough edges, but she always proved herself to be a loyal friend to her second. She always put you as the first priority.
That's a good answer.
Rio then folded his arms in front of him, satisfied how some things never change. Yes, he demands complete loyalty from his minions, even reformed and dead. Look, I just don't like this guy, okay? Whenever something didn't sit right, onto him. Onto him? Him, was he being crushed by a bigger demon?
Lady, I've seen some familiar faces falling here. I talked to Minjuka, but how are they able to?
Oh, that's that side. Since Melly wasn't present, he had to be one to tell Rio what had transpired there. I fought with us because Long has seduced many of your students to side with him. Because of his manipulation, many of those following your teachers.
No need to say anything else, I already know the gist.
Rio cut down Red Mask's explanation as he put away his arms. Where did he put them away? If anyone would know it with familiar faces he met was those traits of Rinjuken's school.
A befitting fate for traitorous dogs.
Wait, suddenly Decker Blue brought us something that got everyone's attention. This is hell, right? If it is, then why is there this eerie silence that allows us to talk this long?
Now that I think of it, yes, it's suspicious.
Rio noticed he also looked around.
It's rare that I get breaks, but not this long.
However, when he said that something unexpected happened, Terra Arrow! Terra Angel just took her bow and aimed straight at Rio's head. She shot an arrow, so in reflex, Rio just moved her head aside and it hit the head of a demon trying to strike him behind.
Oh no!
Oh no! Terry was about to comment it, but it had to wait. As the demon's shot fell, she found there was another horde of demons standing behind it, and then as she looked around, they found themselves surrounded with a horde of many devilish demons, of any other kind, ready to rip them apart from every direction. We got trouble, guys. I don't think I like the look of this.
Big time's over, huh?
About time. Rio's voice is gonna kill me. He just cracked his knuckles before readying his stand.
So then, Red One, you want to stand there and get devoured, or do you want to fight and experience what I and Melee have been through for a long time?
Okay, who says we'd like to just be just sitting ducks? By the way, it's Red Mask, he answers. He and the rest instinctively took their fighting stances. We don't plan on dying today.
Oh good, that is spirit. It'll prove useful for you.
Demons closed into them, but the Super Sentai showed no signs of hesitation. Didn't matter if they were in hell, perhaps defeating a lot of demons would lead them to get out of the realm and return to that bizarre world. Too much were at stake, they couldn't afford to stay in that place. Amongst the demons, perhaps one of them would be some cursed people in the real world that untimely died because of how they weren't there to protect them. That would not make them waver. They'll do everything to not be defeated even by demons. Let's go! So the Super Sentai, along with the Black Lion, engaged against the swarm of demons that approach them. The against is unnecessary. Day hasn't passed yet, but eventually the door to Melee's prison was opened. As she opened her eyes, she saw a familiar face. Well now, seeing Melee's face threatened tears, that's a rare sight, alright. Melee immediately raised her legs and it kicked the face owner's crotch. Ooh. There's none of an other captor. Ryukyo with the dinosaur fist. Alright, so I guess I deserve that. As Ryukyo was wincing in pain, covering his crotch, his words shocked Melee. She wanted to be rather boasting, but admitting that he deserved a kick to the groin. Melee at least had to do that in order to signal Ryuko that she wanted a serious talk. Yeah, I understand. You want me to ungag you. As Ryukyo got back to standing up, Yuan approached Melee and was planning to move the gag. Harry stopped a bit. Promise not to stab him with your tongue afterwards? Melee did not respond. Alright. That's Ryukyo finally moved her gag. Phew! That was a really stinky one stuck on my mouth for so long. Melee was at least glad that she could speak there. Then she looked at Ryukyo with much seriousness. What do you want now? You're not here to gloat at how Rinjuken is dead? Why would I say that? Ryukyo's answer shocked Melee. Just because I was alongside doesn't mean I converted to his nonsense. What? Deep in her mind, Melee was actually extremely gladdened. It's not all Rinjuken practice and has been swayed. The honor could be restored this way. Ryukyo, you all this time you've been going undercover? There's no way I've forgotten all that Ryo-sama taught me and have done to me, Ryukyo confirmed. At the time I thought Ryo-sama was considering me weak and not letting me fight against the Geku Rangers, leaving me continuously in Rinji form. But over time I actually learned he didn't actually want to lose me, who had been extremely loyal to him. Not that the likes of Kata, Rageku and Maku mingled with Ryo-sama, but especially that bastard long in his phony Genju-ken style. That's coming from you. Melee sighed, remembering that one time she took up Long's offer to become a master of Phoenix Fist. And Ryukyo could even show it disgust at that, felt kind of saying, Ryo-sama really taught you well. And probably he didn't wake me up because he didn't want to hurt your feelings, Ryukyo continued, returning him a rather strong glare from Melee on the prospect how he might be a rival. I mean, if that's the case, I would gladly back away. He added that on the same face. Alright, fine. Now that I know that you're on my side, I noticed he squirmed a little to show some body language. Do you mind untying me after you moved your guy? Probably better if you stay tight at the moment, Ryukyo explained. I can pass off like I'm interrogating you or something. Fine. Funny that, and in truth, I'm the one asking you questions. Melee sighed. Looked like her arms and body were going to endure longer pain of her bindings, but he certainly could endure. So, what else do you want to report when you find from going undercover? A few, but this might be very important in defeating Long in a long shot. And by this I mean something worse than what the Geku Rangers did to him. Ryukyo's answer actually had Melee's spies. This may even put him out of commission for good. You do realize he's immortal, right? Melee pointed out, but he can't be killed. I know, this might circumvent it, Ryukyo stated. However, this information I cannot give to you, Melee. I was told to tell this information to your leader. You don't even know my leader. Melee took it a little hearing Matt. He continued to answer with good composure. It's always real savage. I know what you're getting at. You're speaking of Red Mask. And at this point aside, tough luck, but he's in hell. But if I cannot pull him out of that, Ryukyo then pulled something from his pocket, and it revealed a dark compass. A dimensional compass. A compass that can be used to open a portal and pull a group of people from there, as though it's in one of her brother's storage for black market sale. I bet we have a chance to open up a portal where you can pull off Red Mask and his friends. Really? And how big is the chance? About 5% unfortunately, Ryukio's slight risk, but unfortunately many dimensions abound. 5% is better than 0%, Melly suddenly said, confidence started to it under her voice. Choosing a positive attitude of her friends rubbing off on her instead. Yes, this is worth a shot, we should do this, but first, there's another thing we got to do. Melly tries to be more faithful about certain situations, she better ask. Has the process of converting Nakadai Mikoto started? That process, Ryukio recognized that one project Long was thinking of. It should be today, but it's not yet done. Good, we still have time. Ryukio, we're going to bust him out of there. Melly then explained to Pan. It's a rather simple plan, but it's only thing she can think of. After that, we return to the stairs and then execute your plan with a dimensional compass. So for now, you'll lead me to where he is. Yes, I just know a way. Hey, Ryukio over and bowed, confirming that he truly was in this plan of this. I'll clear the way for you. Seem like Long is away with a lot of people. He planned to come back after this. Yes, once I cleared the way, I'll come to pick you up. Until then, suddenly Ryukio picked up a gag he moved, put it to his pocket and took another thing there. It was a piece of cloth, similar to what he gagged Melly before with. I'll have to re-gag you and make it look like I never visited you. That I get, but Melly was quite puzzled about the piece of cloth he just picked up. What's the point of using that new thing? Let's say it's just a normal cloth. Ryukio sighed as Melly just signaled him to just gag her while he explained further. She had nothing more to say, but you can still pull a surprise attack with your tongue. Melly mumbled a look to see if he was telling the truth. Indeed, she could still feel that she could use her tongue like for she nodded, confirming it. Very well, I'll be back. With that, Ryukio left the room. Melly then breathed in relief beneath her gag. This better work out, or else. But it wasn't even that long that suddenly someone entered the room to visit her. It's not exactly who she wanted, however. It was Lammy. Well, that's one evil being who rejects her old ways. It's not just one, there's a lot of them. Someone thinks I'm now this lame, overly goody two-shoes person. I just stayed silent as if not to break the charade. But at the very least, bewildered. If someone is not put in your place here, about to exit be blasted to smithereens by the lasers outside. Right. Melly was shocked at the revelation, but even she found a hole in that state which allowed her to retain her claim. That being said, I'm getting kind of bored, Lammy then grumbled. Damn it, that Long. You don't have to play security guard on this whole structure while he went to have all the fun. So, that Lammy suddenly drew her blade and pointed it to Melly's back. Okay, I've lost my blade. Neck. I think I want to have a little fun slashing through your skin. Let us say, we evildoers don't really take traitors that well. As Lammy slowly moved her sword, Melly feigned a rather worried face, looked at the blade of rather worried eyes. Lammy moved her sword slowly, seemingly enjoying seeing Melly's helpless face. When that moment was cut short, the instant he felt the ground trembling. What? How is there a quake in this? Lammy then pulled away the sword, looked around, taking things out. But did she know something? Melly knew what this meant. She knew someone who could cause this quake. Most importantly, it was her chance. All of a sudden, she thrusted her tongue beneath her gag. As it was an old cloth, her tongue tore through the gag and then circled through Lammy's neck. What? How? But Gus Dogro should have. Lammy was shocked at this moment, but merely tightened the grip from her tongue, not letting her go. Let me go, damn it! Melly said, much she could to confirm that he's letting Lammy go. The moment she did so, Lammy felt like someone grabbed her back. Rinju Dinosaur Fist Ringy, Tyrant Hurricane. With that, Ryukio then leapt while grabbing Lammy, spinning around before falling into the ground head first. That's a pretty roomy cell if he's able to do that. Lammy's crash was extremely great, and Lammy quickly lose her consciousness. Damn. As Lammy fell down, Ryukio went out to not only ungag but also untie Melly, finger. Damn, spending all this time tied up really is annoying. Nakadai Mikoto should be in the experimental room. But you might not be pleased with what you'll see, Ryukio warned. But it's not that bad. I could care less about that. Let's get moving. Melly busted up, then she remembered something. Wait, hold up. Apparently someone is not in my place, and one next thing this room will be destroyed. Huh? Now that I just know. It was now Ryukio's turn to get worried. So I was able to get around because it was convenient you were there. Don't worry, I know a workaround. Melly looked at the same fingers used to restrain her as well as the unconscious Lammy. She grinned. It would be better if that cure is one available, but this'll do. Who? After suggested Ryukyo, the two then proceeded to put Lammy in Melee's place before. I'll let you figure out how to work that better. In other words, they tied her up and gagged her. This time the actual enchanted cloth. Once that was done, they left, and since someone was tied up there, they were safe and may get out of there. As long as someone's in that place, doesn't have to be me. Ryukyo had knocked out every guard he came across to reach the experimental room. As Melee opened it, they found herself inside a laboratory designed to look like some sort of Mayan sacrificial altar. At the center was an unconscious Mikoto, tied between two toy devices that made it look like posts. There was some sort of mini satellite on top of him. No wonder, to erase his memories. What disgusted Melee most the fact that, for some reason, Mikoto wasn't in his usual clothes. Instead, he's wearing a set of leathery belts that made it look like he's in some sort of dirty kink and only on his lower body parts. Oh god, this has turned into BDSM. As his upper body were completely bare. Ew, what is this about? Suddenly Long is into this crap, Melee commented. Well, who knows? Ryuko shrugged, shaking his head. I told you that you won't like this. Intruder alert, intruder alert. All of a sudden the sirens rang and various door. Now he forgets to pluralize. Open, revealing several barman soldiers staying on guard. Oh, that is great. More work after some worthless craps. There's probably a better word than that. Melee sighed, quickly looks around. And she found that Mikoto's dino brace, the dino minder, was kept inside a glass box on another corner of the room. I'll go grab his brace. Ryukyo, you bust him out. And that Melee wasted no time as he transformed. As the barmy soldiers barred her way, she showed no mercy, attacking and striking as she made a beeline to a corner containing the dino brace. Yes, ma'am. Meanwhile, Ryukyo charged forward to the direction of Mikoto. With his massive strength, any barmy soldiers standing in his way ended up getting tackled and trampled by Ryukyo, as eventually broke away the chains that bound Mikoto before putting her on his back. I got him, ma'am. How does it go over there? And in the same time, Melee used her tongue to grab the dino brace from a distance, put it on her hand and raised it upwards, and she ran to the exit along with Ryukyo. Okay, now you lead us to the exit. Leave it to me. There should be a portal here that allows us to return to the Earth, Ryukyo said. That's how I travel to Earth after all. Chroma's hair and it turned out that Mikoto was awake. Wait, what this part of my mind before? Oh, shut that wise cracking mouth for now, dumbass. Melee said he handed down her dino base. You want to stay naked all this time? Melee, wait a sec, this is like going with turbo speed. Mikoto tried to make sense of this, but he still grabbed the dino brace. What's going on here? To transform, damn it! Melee shouted at him. Look at you right now, makes me want to puke. Yeah, I've lost my place again. Fine, Mikoto said. He activated his brace. Back of you changed, and transformed to Abe Killer. And back they stopped bits so Ryukyo could run without carrying someone. Wait, I know you. You're Ryukyo, the dinosaur fist. I'm on your side, Ryukyo answered. Here to get you out of here. Bounty knows a way to get Taku out of that goddamn hell, and something about shutting Long up for good. Melee's quick answer shed away any doubts Abe Killer about working with one of his captors. I'm sure there's a word missing there. Do that, we gotta reach Earth first. Fine, let's just jump into the unknown, to me at least, Abe Killer answered while nodding. This is going to prove interesting. The Battle 3 continued to run, and led by Ryukyo, it finally reached the port and arrived at Earth. And that's the gist of it. Ryukyo has just finished explaining how the dimensional compass worked. They arrived at a rather vast field. Apparently the author couldn't figure out how to make it work and still make sense, so he just cut the explanation. There's no guarantee that he'll pull off Red Mask and the others, but this is the only chance. I've just used that thing already. Abe Killer quickly cut the whole explanation. So he edited this thing. I don't care if it's of low probability. In fact, I revel on it. That's what's exciting about games of luck. Alright, you heard him. Ryukyo. Okay. As Ryukyo nodded, he then tossed the compass on the ground, pressed the remote switch he also brought. Open portal. Now we just have to wait until something comes out, if we're lucky. So we're just left in relying to our luck, Abe Killer noted. Well, isn't that exciting? I guess no hard feelings, Ryukyo commented. Why bother? Abe Killer just responded by crossing his hands forward. At that moment, the stop when a familiar figure was spotted. Long, Melee growled at recognizing the figure. Oh my, looks like somehow my two prisoners escaped. Long, walking alongside Gasadoko and Lee Joel at his side, he didn't seem at face. What the? You? Gasadoko on the other hand was shocked at seeing Mukio on the side of Melly and Abe Killer. Your turncoat? What did they offer you? I never really was on your side, Mukio answered calmly. I'm done with pretending to sully real Sam's name and licking your feet, Infinite Dragon. Ah, that's just too bad. Such actions would have gotten you life. Long shrugged at hearing what Mukio had to say. So that means you now choose death. A death I will not regret, Mukio confidently says he prepared his stance. To die in real Sam's name is an honor, but Melly then looked at her student. Mukio, try not to get yourself killed just this once. For my sake. Life or death, anything goes to me. Mukio shouted like that, roaring. For real, Sama, I will fight! Indeed, Melly could feel herself fired up as she continued with her creed. And I live for the love of real Sama. For real Sama's love I fight as his love for warrior. Rinju Chameleon Ken Mistress. Melee. Huh, now we're in a game of extreme luck. And then I get to suck off that guy who humiliates me. Abe Killer continued as well. Indeed, this excitement at its finest. Abe Killer! And you're gonna continue it with. Long expected something that would come off after such a call, but he didn't react long enough to let Abe Killer run towards his face with extreme speed and punch him in the face. But Team Benny then received another blast of lightning from his back. When he got up, Lee Jewel was staring at him as if beckoning that she's his opponent. Didn't say anything. Lee Jewel? Abe Killer had a hunch. After his words did reach out to her, but until then all he could do is to fight against her. As he ran towards her whilst he silently just blasted out more magical explosion. Long, it's time we pay for all these humiliations. Melly was running towards Long, who was trying to get up. However, someone blocked her path. Get out of the way, you filthy skull! Oops, you can't have that. Gasadoko was the one who said, but he begging her his sword. I'm sure Long would want to deal with a certain traitor, but meanwhile you can play with me. At the same time, Long has gotten up while Ryukio faced him. Well, I know you should have known this, but the punishment of traitors are death. Long simply stated with confidence. Yeah, indeed, Ryukio replied without fear. And he ought to be punished for treason against Ryo, Sama and Melly. Oh, that's just rich. A mere mortal trying to punish a god. Long just laughed about. I think your brain was left behind at prehistoric age. Quit talking and fight. Once again roaring, Ryukio charged forward to Long. Didn't even take his stance. It was like he knew the outcome of the battle. At the same time, at hell, the horde of demons came to swarm the Super Sentai. Despite that, everyone's proved their mettle, but not even the hordes of hell were able to kill them. Wherever the horde was a rather endless one. Damn! Miguel lamented. She was catching her breath, standing behind terrain, praying another wave of demons to strike there. Just until when will the chance come? But don't tell me the way to exit this dimension isn't about how many demons we kill. Either way, I don't think they'll make it easier for us to find a way. But the only thing Terrain could say about that, were in spite of also heavily drawing breath, she had to keep out. Don't give up. The chance will come soon. Laser arrow. Ringy, go you go ha. Combining their strength, Red Mask and Rio blew away a group of demons in front of him. Heh, not bad, Rio commented. You too, Red Mask in favor. Imitation long shoulders before is no match for a real thing indeed. Wait, hold on, what is this? Suddenly, however, Miguel said something. My digicam certain is showing something in the north. As everyone looked north, there seemed to be a portal formed. As usual, demons barred the path leading there. It wasn't there before. Perhaps it's a way out of here, Big Mask concluded. We persevered, guys. Only a little bit more then. Ninja's back now to see raised his Kakure mile. We'll just have to make a mad dash for it. Hopefully it's a proper one. It's hell. It could be a trick portal like the devil toying with us. But, Deckblue says he raised SP lights. Now I'll take that gamble. If I use my SWAT mode in D revolver, we can have a clear shot. Good, but let's also board Hoji, miss. Let's go, everyone. Hermas and Kojo as expected. Everyone raised their fist and voice to confirm. However, he knows something else. Rio,
are you expecting me to come with you?
Rio, however, did not even flinch. He seemed confident in his decision.
I'm staying here. This is the place I belong.
Yes, it is. Wait, you're not coming? Tang asked why. But why? Melly will be overjoyed if you come and visit her.
I'm still staying here regardless. I have another thing to do.
Rio stood by his decision. However, he seemed like he was hiding something. Rio, perhaps you'll stay here in hell. Has a meaning? Red Mask tried to inquire.
Yes, this whole fighting the hordes of demons eternally,
Rio explained.
A certain force has come to visit me and told me my strength is required in the future. The same force would allow me to return.
enter the living world and faced long around with the Goanjas. As that force there would be a big battle where our strengths were needed. The whole thing about eternal damnation was just a cover. In truth, it was meant to prepare us for the war. I see, that means Melee. Ninja Black gets to be denied of betraying its might weakener. No, her adventure with you counts as training enough. Rio answered for eventually edging him. What are you waiting for? Go! The portal might not be open for that long. If you don't go, do you really want that Rufus still to wreak havoc for free? Red Master finally understood without asking further. Perhaps Rio was informed about Rufus still, and truly he was on their side, worried about them. Alright, you heard the man. Hoji, then come out to his friend to initiate the plan. SWAT mode on! Activating his SP license, Decker Blue activated his SWAT mode, and with his D-roll at hand, he aimed forward and started running while shooting. The team backed up and ran forward, to last through any demons that came to him. Okay. As they approached the portal, Red Man Aspen gave one last look to the proud Black Lion, who returned to once again fight demons that came to him. Farewell, Black Lion Rio. You're really a proud lion that showed your fang to the universe. And at the same time, as Rio gave one final look to Super Sentai outside his own fort. Farewell, Super Sentai, and give my regards to Melee as well. As Red Mask finally entered the portal, he and his friends finally realized that they came out. First thing he did is to look at the sky. The blue sky, Red Mask noted. Looks like you made it back to the world of living. Meantime, Gasadoko was commencing his attack with his sword as Melee just dodged.
Stop being such a slippery thing and die!
He yelled as he raised his sword for an attack. When at that moment he was shot with an arrow and hit with a sling bullet, knocking him away so as to explode on him. What? Are you alright, Melee? As she looked back, she saw Terror Ranger Mega Yellow standing for her. You guys returned. That means Melee couldn't believe that her method worked. Every of her doubts before were washed away. Her team once again. I still tried to look aloof. I just know you won't die out easily. Otherwise it'll be a disappointment. Hey, it looked like against below odds it's a success. At the same time, I play killer counters both Deck Blue and Ninja Black, block the staff strike by Legion, bed D-Rod and Kakuri Maru. I feel great when I win such impossible odds. You two are alright, Red Mask called to do. Wait! Wherever a happy moment interrupted when Ink Mask suddenly called out in a rather serious tone. What is that? Much for the rest, Long proves out to be too powerful. If only light strike, he knocked away a powerful Ryukyo like he's playing with a rag doll many times. You should have known your place, he taunted. He stomped on Ryukyo's chest. A monster like you betraying me? And what kind of manners do you think you can kill me? Oh no, Ryukyo! Melly couldn't hide, but she showed her care to her fellow practitioner. She called out to him, and his distraction was used by both Gasadokuro and Legion to cover along. Madness, yes, but maybe I am mad. Ryukyo coughed up, but his voice sounded very defiant. And now I stand no chance against you. Though it's be better than worshipping the ground you walk. Oh dear, perhaps I should have noticed this sooner. Long shook his head in disappointment. In which I would have to wipe away your memories just like I did with Sugu. Red Mask completely out of the picture here. What's going on here? Not sure you heard this before, but looks like one of those craps about monsters being good all along. Those craps. Abigail gave a short version of what he knew from reading the history of Super Sentai to be occurrence. Somehow also stored information from monsters fought by the Super Sentai. It would be a pretty shitty history if it didn't cover that. Well now, as Long said back, then lifted Ryukyo with one hand, holding him in the neck. Regardless about as far as how your betrayal entertained me, it was at least an entertaining last words. Let's have it. Ryukyo, no! Melee yelled out once again. There was nothing else she could think of. She had to go. She immediately ran forward. If she could, she would break through both Legion and Gasadoko to stop Long. As Ryukyo looked at the team together and Melee running at them, he knew his time would have come. Looks like I may not be able to say it direct to you, Red Mask, but Melee, I'm glad we have met. He seemed like smiling contentedly and prepared to face destiny. Glory to Ryo-sama! Bat Long footed his other fist through Ryukyo's body, fatally wounding him and tossing him to the ground. Boring. Long! Melee screamed with extreme fury, and another anger at yet another Rinjuken student fell because of him. Preparing to unleash the remnants of a Phoenix Fist's flames, he converted to Ringi, but he made her predictable, as both Gazadoka and Legion swung their weapons to knock Melee away. Ah! Damn it! As their friends surrounded, she could curse at how Long got away again. Oh, so you made it back from hell, Super Sentai. Long commented smokily, looking at the team. You only just noticing? Yeah, unimaginable numbers of demons have swarmed us, but we persevered. And Mask claimed his enemy. Think that you can defeat us easily, as you think again. Ha! Nice boasting. But unfortunately, once again, I am one step ahead of you guys. Long didn't even seem phased, but it seemed he wasn't bluffing, and he stated that. Shocked the team. I wonder if you can guess where I am headed now. Matt Golden Fog started to envelop him and his allies as they vanished. However, Abigail had one comment from all these in this fight. Visual. I am another step forward in my game. Just wait. What kind of game do you mean? Mega Yellow asked. The usual game you know of me. Abigail gave a short answer. Let's just say I proceeded to the next level. As the team were coping with their wounds, suddenly Terrain noticed him out Ryuko. Huh? Is that life force? What? He still lived? Melly was quite surprised to hear that. Without hearing any more explanation, she approached the fallen body. Wait, how does May know what life force looks like? Ryukyo, can you hear me? You're still alive, aren't you? Don't tell me you just died. Ryukyo weakly raised his fist when T approached him. I need to speak with Red Mask. That's me, but how do you... Red Mask is quite confused what inspired. Look, long story short, and you were attending to that stupid film thing. Melly explained what happened. I and Mikoto got captured by Long, whom he was pretending to be working with. He bailed us out there. Oh, so you saved the two. Thank you. Red Batman spoke gently to Ryukyo. Why do you refer to him as the two? What is it then? Red Mask, Melly, I have to admit, coughing in between, Ryukyo told about the story. But Long persuaded the Minju Kent students. I fell for his sweet word, but someone woke me up. A majestic lion. What? Did you meet Rio Summer? Melly asked him too. No, it isn't. But this lion wore the same color as you, Melly. A majestic green lion, and he's calling out to you, Red Mask. Green lion looking for me? Red Mask tried to call his ever known such creature, but he was drawing at blank. What does he want me? He knows something about Long on defeating him. You need to find him in a place where pets gather. But he called greatly as he was really on his last breath. Ryukyo, no! Don't do it to me! I didn't think that she could shed tears for anyone except herself and Rio. But he transformed back and showed that her eyes are getting wet. You're proud when you again practice now. Why? There you go, crying again, Melly. Don't worry. Ryukyo tried to assure her of his last words. I won't steal real sour from you. I'm just meeting him earlier. About the practice of dinosaur fist breathed last. Ryukyo. Melly uttered his name before burying her head into his chest, sobbing. Sight of such dinosaurs are tearing her. Witnessing the death of dinosaurs was like seeing him apart, but she could only look away. The other hand, Abigail just knelt on her and held her on her shoulder, as if in a rare moment to show compassion. He died as a proud warrior. The team let both Melly and Mikoto bear private dies. They looked at the grave they built for Ryukyo. Now that I think of it, Mikoto, you're right, Melly commented as he looked at the gravestone. He truly died proudly. Carrying his loyalty reveals Sama with pride. I should be proud. That's more like it, Mikoto commented. Suits you better to act like this rather than moping all day. What? Melly was taken aback at its comment. I did not do this all day. Okay, I might have a few moments of vulnerability, but I'm more worried about what Long said. He looks like he's playing a grand game. Mikoto's comment brought an early sense to what exactly he meant, and it's like he has planned his move, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure how to intercept this time. I suppose I owe an apology. I suddenly spoke to her sheep's tone. It's just that I looked away as she was hiding how embarrassed she is. You're right, back then, I think I got too carried away with my emotions. That's why I got caught when this happened. When did I ever say it's wrong to have emotions? And Mikoto replied back to her, maybe you're speaking with me back in those days before I met those fools. Of course, Mikoto was speaking to the fellows that changed in the first place, the Upper Rangers. Speaking of, not speaking to. I might be saying it's pointless, but now it's different. After all, even if Ryukyo helped and put his hand on Melly's shoulder and made her look at him, you still saved from being reverted to that old hollow life. Mikoto, you... Melly was stunned of how Mikoto acted, like she could feel that she could trust him. Inside of Rio, you also saved from being crushed to death. She just had to return the favour. Even if she berated him for his citizen and not sacrificing her, she was grateful. However, she rather not let this drag out too long, so she changed the topic. So about your girlfriend, Oh, you mean Legion? Yeah, I think I'm making progress, Mikoto answered. Hopefully when her memory returns, you can remember fully about it and we can save her. That's why I don't plan on giving up this game either. You're right. Response Mary just walked in front of Mikoto and grabbed his hand. It's a game you cannot lose. If you lose, I won't forgive you. That's why. Bats raised his hand up a bit. That's why you will also have my support, miss. Melee, Mikoto smiled this. He was glad that finally Melee can understand that their game are in at the moment. Hey, Melee! Boys was heard and the two looked behind. The team was approaching them. You wanna know who we met during our trip to hell? Tiger offered to tell something. At very least, hopefully they would cheer up after last time. Wait, Melee, any guess? Don't tell me. You met Rio Summer? Once again, her face changed of a cheery, love-struck woman as he approached the team, trying to dig as much as he could, just as Tiger guessed. So, what did he say about me? As the team gathered together, they started telling Melee on their bats with Rio by their side, how he was proud of her. All Melee extremely ecstatic and proud. The team has finally overcame another deadly trial. It seemed that another great one is awaiting them. And what if this green lion Ryukyo spoke of? Face forward to this mystery and enjoy the world and long forward to you all. Fight, Super Sentai! Meanwhile, back of the enemies hide out. There's a collar there for some reason. Kyo's just facing Lamy, who is still left tight and gagged. Damn it, girl! Kyo's just shaking his head while burying in his face. Just how much naive can you be? I mean, I know you're hot and all, but you fell for all those hook, line and sinker. Seriously, to think that someone stole away my dimensional compass. A brother was near Kyo's also lamenting on that one fact. This is going to be a blow to my business when I re-establish that. Lamy was struggling, not exactly thrilled of being scolded like that. He demanded what she got free. Not really my fault I got bored of this. Well, Putin suddenly was long. Not that bad. At least we get our go. Oh, while we were away, Matty picked up something from his clothes. It looked like a piece of a clay doll of a humanoid being. The long dots of his ground, his pattern his doll was in the form of a woman, and have been dismembered from limb to limb. This, Lime was shocked looking at the wrecked clay doll. I know his style, some that thing called Go. What was that again? That said, we should be preparing for the next step of our game. Long said he turned away without even care of the rest, followed by a bell and Kios. He looked behind towards the tired Lamy, and his look seemed to contain an odd mocking. Now, as of you, I think you can just stay there. Don't worry about a call or something. I'm just going to say that you're a little tied up at the moment. I've had a good one, I gotta admit. He of Kios is still this day foot long, couldn't but find the choice of words funny. Grrr! Pissed off about how she was made fun of, Lamy gave an annoyed, muffled scream and struggled to her bonds to no avail. Being left alone, locked up, tied up and gagged in that room. It was only after a few hours that Sibylina found and released her after turning off on the security system. That seems like a hand wave more than a clever writing. Yukio found himself waking up from his so-called slumber. Found out nothing there, however. Is this hell?
Yes, welcome to hell.
Really, a voice was heard, and much to his joy as he got up, he looked up at the standing Rio. Ryukyo,
you died in my name. Good job, you sure know how to make me proud.
Ryo-sama. Ryukyo saluted to him as a result. Meaning like this, damnation to hell is a small price to pay.
That enthusiasm better stay for daily activities.
Ryo suddenly turned behind, took his stance. He looked at another horde of demons preparing to attack.
If you stay with me, you may have a better chance of surviving those sellouts. Are you with me?
With pleasure, Ryo-sama. Against the bat, Ryukyo also took his fighting stance. Fighting alongside you has always been my greatest honor.
Mates, you'll enjoy this honor eternally at my side.
Those bold words said, both Ryo and Ryukyo ran forward, challenging the demons that await them. To be continued. Author's note. Here and so that ends the two-parter. Don't expect Ryo to appear again, he's just a one-chapter bonus. And I think you guys might know what's going on next chapter. It's time for another guest appearance. I think the hints have been obvious enough. Green Lion, Iron Clay Doll, you know what series and who will appear. At least it gets to be more important. And Mukio, well, as you know of, are he's basically the token good monster per week who dies. Hopefully he died with a bang. Good day to you all, and be sure to comment and reply if you like this. See you later. Okay, this thing has a bit of inappropriate content and bad grammar, but otherwise, but yeah, still, that's basically the one thing I can complain about. Join us next time for chapter 27. It's an Ascension! If you enjoyed this reading of this story, then I'd like to recommend a similar story that I've written. It's called Fractured Infinity. If you can make out these words over this, that is, I suggest you check it out. I put a link down in the comments below.